let's talk about A Day to Die. How did this project come about?
So yeah, man, a friend of mine brought me the screenplay at a time after I finished the Western, and I was just at a point where I was trying to figure out what to do next, and really at like a career, not crossroads per se, but kind of trying to figure out my path since I'm still fairly new in feature filmmaking. And he brought it to me, and I really wanted to go with something action.
Mhm.
And I found the script was pretty good, but I wanted to try to infuse a little bit of me into it and also elevate it a little bit. So I found that was like a challenge, and I was like, all right, it'll be a challenge. Let's see how big we can make a film, with today's technology, and with some meaning and fun. And it kind of checked all those boxes, man. And dug in, got a quick rewrite in, and started taking it out.
That's awesome. And oh my God, I don't know how you got this cast because you got quite the cast in this one. Kevin
Yeah,
Dillon, Bruce Willis, Frank Grillo, Johnny Capaldi. I mean, how did you get all these guys into
you
this movie?
know, yeah, they all were great, man. I'll go in reverse order. Gianni is actually the person that brought it to me. The screenplay. We've worked on a couple of projects together. Great, actor, up and coming. And then Frank, we worked together on Hell on the Border, and I sent it to him first, and he was on board. And then we, through a couple of relationships, it got to Bruce and his camp. They were on board. And then, to me, the like not the two most important, but it was really critical casting the Kevin Connor role, which was Kevin, and the Pettis role with Leon. And so I really took my time with those, and those are the last two to come on. And just met with both of them, and Leon was just like, I was kind of like, I wasn't scared to talk to him, but like he plays such good bad guys, you kind of like, man, maybe he's real difficult, but like sweetheart of a human being, and like really understood Pettis, and knew how to tap into that character without leaning into stereotypes or cliches. And then with Kevin, he really understood Connor and what he brought. And they both came with like 100% commitment of like, let's make the best film we can and have fun doing it. And that was it. It rounded it out, man, and we were ready to rock and roll.
That's awesome. And what I liked was the beginning of the movie. They started singing "The House of the Rising Sun" on the way to the mission. I thought that was pretty interesting because you don't really see anything like that. Was that part of something you wrote, or was that already in the script?
Yeah, that was something I wrote. And I have a friend who's military. And it's funny because when he saw like an early cut of that piece, and as soon as they started singing, he was like, "Oh, they're about to go F some stuff up." I'm like, "Yeah, all right, yeah." So that's something that I know a lot of military guys do before that quiet before the storm kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to infuse that, and then also it pays off a little bit later, at the end of the film. But yeah, just add a little community, something, just a quiet moment before we get into all this chaos.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say this. It's a really good movie. How long did shooting take? And what kind of what challenges did you come up with during production?
Yeah, I mean, films always have problems, man. I mean, like, it just happens on a day-to-day basis. Nothing that was super out of the ordinary. It's just that many moving pieces. I think we had like 21 days to shoot it.
Mhm.
And the real challenge really was making sure we got enough coverage of our action beats to make the film feel full. And and honestly, it just came down to preparation, just being like really prepared going in, a really detailed shot list, and trusting that shot list and leaning into it when you're shooting and checking it off. And another piece that we were able to do it was by utilizing three cameras, 6K cameras, so that way if we need to reframe, repush in, we're able to do that. So you can, so if one take, you get three angles, and then if you do four takes, so you got 12, so now you got some real coverage and able to get it done. um so I think that was the biggest challenge. And then, but we shot in Jackson, Mississippi, and they were so like welcoming and so great. It allowed us to like shoot within a several block radius for most of what we shot. So we didn't have a lot of breakdown, go. We were able to just kind of like pivot, and keep it trying to, feel big.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of the cast, did you allow them, considering they're all a lot of them are veterans, did you allow them to just do their thing, or was it a collaborative effort between you and them? Because I know some indie film directors tend to let the actors do their thing and to see how it looks, or sometimes you got directors who's like, no, you got to do it this way, you got to do it this way. But I like when either they allow to do their thing or you work with them to like get their input on the roles.
Yeah, I always will collaborate with my actors. As a director and as a writer, you have something kind of preconceived in your head. And for me, that is kind of like the baseline. But when you hire these actors and these, experienced actors, they bring a level of commitment and experience and a level of deep diving into their own character that you as a director, you don't necessarily do for every single character, because, you're keeping the overarching, story in mind. You do as a director, you do have to understand the objectives and the motivations and the scene goals and things of that like. But there are certain things that can where life can spring up in a scene. And so, because we run and gun so fast, I really protect my time with my actor from like the blocking until we wrap the scene. And, I really, do that. And so for me, it's more, we walk through the scene, not quick rehearsal, but rehearse it, we block it, we walk it, we talk it. How does it feel to you? How does it feel to you? Then maybe a couple of questions. Well, what if you did it this way? What if you did it that way? Any thoughts that you guys have? And then once we feel like, all right, here's the scene, here are the transitions, here's the new information, here are the beats that, we really need to focus in on, get cameras up. And I know, like I said, I have a shot list, so I do it. So, and then even during the course, there are a couple of times when Leon, just fresh examples, would add a couple of suggestions that end up making it in the movie, end up making a big difference in the movie. And if you're like one of the director that says, no, just do it my way, and not open to that, you lose those special moments where you have these wonderful actors living in the character, bringing a little bit more than even what you anticipated.
I think some directors can learn from that. Like any director should learn from that to work with the actor, because it seems like you just mentioned, Leon, putting some suggestions, and it obviously enhanced it rather than hinder it. So yeah, I hope they do do listen to your words with that.
Yeah, it's just no other way, man. Especially because if you cast well, those suggestions should all be solid. They may not make the final cut because it might not work within the way the scene is cutting or that place in the film, but you should always explore it to see if it would work before you just be like, no. Because if you don't shoot it and you realize, oh, in the edit, I wish I would have had it, it's too late. Yeah. So I'm like, shoot it all, get it, and then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
That's awesome. Well, how's it feel to shoot your first big like action movie? Must feel good.
Yeah, it does, man. Like I said, I had a few goals set out. Let's try to elevate a straight actioner. Let's execute at a high level without a lot of money. Be responsible, finish it on time, don't go over budget, execute the script and exceed that execution. Have fun doing it, build relationships, and have some real strong characters in the piece. And I feel like, yeah, I'm like, all right, we met those goals, and it plays well. I sat in with a couple of audiences. That was really the best feeling, man. I've never had a real chance to do that. And so it was really nice, like seeing how they react to different spots and even reacting more at some areas that I didn't anticipate. And it's real rewarding, man, I must say.
That's awesome. So finally, what's next for you after this that you can talk about?
Yeah, we're working on a film called 3 Mile In, starring Kelly Rowland, and we should be shooting it. We're in pre-pro on it now, so just waiting on the actual shoot date while we get the sets built and everything. But it's a little fun action caper. I would call it like Reservoir Dogs meets Smoking Aces.
Nice.
Yeah, small contained, but very stylized. And, hope to have a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you will. Everyone's got to check it. So everyone's got to check out A Day to Die when it comes out. It has an excellent cast: Bruce Willis, Frank Grillo, Johnny Capaldi, Leon, Kevin Dillon. Great cast, great action scenes. Wes, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it. And man, I hope to see more of your work. Is what it sounds like. I'm looking forward to it with this.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. You just, film, it's hard, man, making these things. And so it's just nice, when it's nice sharing it, man. And, I love it, man. I switched careers, man. And I'm so glad I did. And, really happy.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see more of your work. So thank you again for taking the time to talk about it.
Okay. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.